So you guys have probably all seen a new building under construction when the walls are just barely up and the rafters are up on the walls, you know, like a wood frame construction, like a house or a shop, that kind of thing. But that building will actually flex around in the wind until the sheeting is finally put on. So if it's just at the stage where, you know, you can look right through the framework, you know, there's nothing on the rafters, it's all just a frame, that building, when the wind picks up like maybe a ½ inch or an inch, or depending on the size of the building, I'm not sure how much they'll flex, but I've seen it, you know, and it happens. It just doesn't have its rigidity, and it won't have until the sheets are finally nailed to the structure. And I want you guys to keep that in mind. I'm going to show you guys something. So this is a new construction that I'm working on here. It's one of the reasons I haven't made a lot of videos recently, but running myself out of time. I got winter kind of feels like it's coming down. I hired a couple of guys. I normally like to do stuff on the cheap, but a couple of professionals, they did the sheeting here for me, and today I want to talk to you guys about air nailers. Well guys, I'm actually in the process of re-nailing this entire roof after the guys finished doing it with air nailers. And I'm going to show you guys why in just a little bit. So I'm re-nailing it all by hand, the old-fashioned way, with a 2.5 inch Ardox and swinging a hammer. So here's some nails that go with an air nailer. So these are pass loads, and these have the full head on them. You know, they're offset, like here on the top. See, they have the full head on them, and so that's a plus. But these are like, they don't have a glue end on them or a spiral. And I think there's some different versions of these. But anyways, I ended up using these. I got these for the guys with the air nailers up here. So they were using these, and they have a bit of a spiral on them. So I figured they might be better. Not quite as nice of a head on the top. But here's what the problem is. So you can see one of my nails here that I put in, 2.5 inch Ardox. And I want you guys to watch for nails that are put in with the air nailer. So I'm going to go up the rafter here, and we're going to find my next nail right there. And have you seen any of the nails put in with the air nailer yet? So I'm going to keep going. It's another one of my nails. So I've already passed one or two of the nails that went in with the air nailer. So that's a nail that went in with the air nailer. And so here's another one. And another one. And I'm going to go down the sheet here. So that's another one. So here's one. You see how deep they are? They're so deep that you can't even see them. So there's one here. I think I can see a bit of the nail on that one. So they're not all this bad. So this one isn't too bad, but it's still kind of deep. So I kind of suspect that this is an industry-wide problem. And I'm not saying all contractors are doing this, but I'm saying it is out there, and how that sheet is put on the building is critical, because I was telling you before that that's really what gives it its rigidity. And I think what happens here is the wood is not all the same. So you go along with your air nailer, and all of a sudden you get into some harder wood, and then the nail sticks out a bit. Oh, just crank up the pressure. And then you keep going, and then, oh, I just hit a big knot, and then now the nail sticks out again. Oh, crank up the pressure some more. So then what happens is all the areas where you have normal softwood, that nail is just getting driven in way too far. Okay, so what do you guys think is going to happen if I pull on this sheet here with the nails driven in too deep? What do you think is going to happen, and how much pressure would it take for me to do some damage here? What do you think would happen if I'd pull on this sheet that's not nailed on properly? That's a bit of a problem, guys. So you see kind of how that works now. See, looks like that nail was pulling, you know, from about, you know, less than half of the sheet, and it just doesn't have its strength then. You know, guys, tell you the truth, if there was two houses and they're both identical, one is nailed by hand and one is done with an air nailer, I think I would actually pay more for a house that's just nailed by hand, the old-fashioned way. And this is why. So have a look at these nails down in here. So you can see they're down quite a ways. So you can see the thickness of the sheet here versus how far that nail is down. So that's a bit of a problem, guys. It's a bit of a problem. So if you got guys out there building you a nice new house, or you know, you're going to go buy one, you know, these are this is something that I think you need to keep in mind, you know, because the sheets ultimately gives the building rigidity. You know, why would you want to jeopardize strength by having the nails in that far, you know? Just putting it out there, guys. Just figured you'd like to know.